Beloved chosen ones, have you ever stopped to wonder why your life has been filled with battles that seemed almost unbearable? Why it feels as though you've been walking through fire while others coast through life untouched? Why the darkness has never left you alone, relentless in its attempts to break you, confuse you, and make you question who you are? Let me tell you something few will ever understand. The reason the enemy has been after you so fiercely is because they have always known who you are. Before you even realized the depth of your calling, before you even understood the power that rests within you, the forces of darkness saw it. They recognized the light in you, the divine fire that could never be extinguished, and they feared what you would become. And now they see it fully. Now they acknowledge it. You have endured the battles, you have withstood the attacks, and instead of being destroyed, you have emerged stronger than ever. Even demons whisper your name with fear. They no longer see you as someone they can manipulate, deceive, or weaken. They see you as a force that cannot be stopped. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. That light is you. It has always been you. And now they respect you, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. Think about it. Why has your journey been so much more difficult than those around you? Why have you faced betrayals, struggles, and storms so violent that most people would have crumbled? It's because the enemy saw something in you that others couldn't. They knew that if you ever woke up, truly woke up, to the power God placed within you, there would be nothing they could do to stop you. And now that moment has come. Everything you have been through, every painful lesson, every tear, every loss, was not a sign of defeat. It was preparation. The enemy thought they were breaking you, but instead, God was refining you. The darkness tried to bury you, but instead, God planted you deeper. And now you are rising into the fullness of your spiritual authority, and even the forces that once sought to destroy you can do nothing but step aside. If you feel this truth in your soul, if you recognize the shift that has taken place within you, then declare it right now. Comment 777 below. This is not just an affirmation, this is an activation. This is you standing in your authority and proclaiming that you know exactly who you are. And to those of you who have supported this message through super thanks, your generosity is not just appreciated, it is powerful. You're not just giving, you're making sure that more of God's chosen ones awaken to their truth. Thank you for being part of this divine movement. But let me ask you this. Have you noticed how the atmosphere changes when you walk into a room? How people react to you now, not with the same casual indifference, but with something deeper. Maybe it's an unspoken reverence, a quiet intimidation, or even an inexplicable fear. Have you noticed how even those who once dismissed you now seem unsure of how to approach you? This is not a coincidence. This is spiritual authority. And what happens next will change everything. Because now it's not just about survival. Now it's about stepping fully into who God created you to be. Stay with me, because in the next moments we're going to uncover the full truth of why even the darkness can no longer deny who you are. Let's begin. God's chosen ones, even demons. Now acknowledge your spiritual power and respect who you've become. Chosen ones, do you realize how untouchable you have become? The transformation you have undergone is not just visible, it radiates a power that cannot be denied. Forces that once surrounded you, looking for ways to break you, now stand back in awe and confusion. Why? Because you're no longer who you used to be. Do you feel it? That unshakable sense of peace in the storm, the quiet authority that follows you wherever you go. It is not arrogance. It is the result of trials that have refined you, of battles that have proven your spirit unyielding. Demons see what you carry now, divine strength that repels them, forcing them to respect you. Chosen one, the first unmistakable sign of your exalted spiritual status will be revealed in your sleep as you dream. These are not just nightmares or random visions. They are battlegrounds, arenas where spiritual encounters take place and where your authority is tested and proven. Think about it. Why do dark forces now challenge you in your sleep? Because they cannot reach you in your waking life. You have built such a fortress of faith and divine alignment that their whispers fall powerless against you. Consider Joseph in the Bible, a man whose destiny was revealed through dreams. Genesis 37. The enemy sought to destroy him using jealousy and betrayal, but God used those very trials to elevate him to power. Like Joseph, your battles, even in sleep, are not signs of weakness, but of strength recognized. The enemy does not test what is weak. They test what they fear. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Ephesians 6:12. Your ability to overcome in dreams reveals a deeper spiritual truth. You are operating in divine authority. These encounters are not moments to fear. They are opportunities to assert your power. Every time you rise victorious in these spiritual battles, it is as if God Himself is reminding you, you are more than a conqueror. Romans 8:37. The enemy sees your unwavering faith and it terrifies them. Here is a truth you must understand. Dark forces respect spiritual authority. They are not moved by titles or appearances. They respond to the unseen power that flows through you, the power of Christ. Jesus Himself demonstrated this when He cast out demons, and they cried, "What have we to do with Thee, Jesus, Thou Son of God?" Matthew 8:29. Why? Because they recognized divine authority. Now let me ask you, when you walk into a room, do you notice the uneasy stirrings in others who operate in darkness? This is no coincidence. Like Jesus, your alignment with God has elevated you to a position where darkness cannot hide in your presence. The same forces that once sought to diminish you now step aside because they see God's light reflected in you. Dark forces do not respect mere words, they respect power. And power, true divine power, comes through faith, surrender, and an unshakable identity in God. Your victories, whether in dreams or life, are not yours alone. They are signs of God's work in you. So, chosen ones, what does this mean for you? It means that the battles you face are not a sign of failure, but a confirmation of your strength. The respect you command is not of this world. It is spiritual, undeniable, and eternal. The forces of darkness recognize what you carry, a sovereign soul, empowered by divine will. Remember this, you are untouchable, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. God's hand rests upon you, and even demons must bow to that truth. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. So when the whispers come, when the shadows circle, do not fear. Stand firm, for the battle is already won. Darkness may try, but it cannot overcome the light within you. You are chosen, and even demons know your name. Chosen ones, have you noticed the silence that falls around you? The second undeniable sign that you command respect from dark forces is the profound silence that falls in the presence of those who once stood against you. It isn't ordinary awkwardness, it's spiritual, heavy, and undeniable. Have you seen it? The ones who once plotted, slandered, or schemed against you now grow quiet when you enter the room. They avoid meeting your gaze, their words falter, and their actions seem restrained as though something unseen holds them back. What changed? It is not fear of what you might do, but reverence for what you have become. Think about it. Why do they act this way? Why do the boldest voices against you now grow faint? It is because your energy, refined by trials and fortified by your alignment with God, has become a shield, a force they cannot comprehend or overpower. Their spirits instinctively sense that something about you has shifted. Where there was once weakness, there is now an unshakable authority. Where there was doubt, there is now unrelenting light. Even those who do not understand the spiritual realm feel the weight of your presence. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the atmosphere shift? Conversations stop, eyes dart away, and those who once spoke boldly against you suddenly seem unsure of themselves. This is no coincidence. Their spirits recognize what their minds cannot yet articulate. You are untouchable. The forces of darkness that once empowered their actions now falter in your presence. Like King Saul, who was tormented by an evil spirit until David's presence brought relief, 1 Samuel 16:23, the darkness within them cannot stand the light you carry. What's remarkable about this silence is that it isn't just physical, it is spiritual. It reaches beyond human interactions into the unseen realm. Have you considered why this happens? It is because your light disrupts their darkness. When you align yourself with divine truth, you step into a power that cannot be ignored. Darkness cannot thrive where light dominates, and your presence is like a lamp in a darkened room. Matthew 5:14-16. This silence is a surrender, a subtle yet undeniable acknowledgement that they can no longer confront you as they once did. What is it about you that has changed? Is it your words? No, it's deeper than that. It's the spiritual authority you now carry. This authority doesn't come from titles or positions. It comes from what you've endured, what you've overcome, and the faith that sustains you. When you walk with God, your spirit becomes a reflection of His power, and even the darkest forces take notice. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7. Look around you. Those who once attacked you no longer know how to approach you. They hesitate, they retreat, and sometimes they disappear entirely. Why? Because the forces that once gave them boldness have lost their hold. Have you ever stopped to wonder why relationships fell apart, why slander stopped, or why certain people seem distant? It is because your growth has repelled what cannot survive in your presence. The light you carry now overwhelms anything that opposes it. This silence is not weakness. It is proof of your power. It is the stillness that comes when darkness is confronted with light it cannot overcome. The same silence fell when Jesus cast out demons. In His presence they cried out, but they could not resist His authority. Mark 1:25-27. That same authority now flows through you. Do you see it? The battles you once fought openly are now won in your very presence. So ask yourself, why do they hesitate? Why do they grow quiet? Because the energy you carry, the spirit within you, now commands a respect they cannot deny. You don't need to speak for them to feel it. Your presence alone declares victory. They know what you have become, a chosen vessel of God's light, untouchable and unstoppable. And here's something even more profound. This silence is not about fear, it is about acknowledgement. Their spirits recognize that you no longer fight alone. You stand with the authority of heaven behind you, and the enemy trembles at the sight of it. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. So chosen ones, have you noticed it? Have you felt the silence settle around you like an invisible shield? If so, rejoice. It is a sign of who you have become. The world may not understand it, but the spiritual realm does. Darkness cannot thrive where you stand, and even those who once opposed you now feel the weight of your transformation. You don't have to fight as you once did. You simply have to stand. The silence speaks for itself. Your presence alone carries the power of God, and even the forces of darkness know it. They respect you because they have no choice. Chosen ones, do you see how your presence transforms everything around you? The third sign that you command respect from dark forces is the undeniable shift in energy the moment you step into a space. It isn't subtle. It's a total recalibration, like an unseen hand sweeping through lifting tension, dissolving heaviness, and replacing it with peace and clarity. Have you noticed it? After the initial silence, the discomfort will dissipate. People breathe easier, and something oppressive that once lingered vanishes. This isn't optimism or coincidence. It's spiritual reality manifesting through you. Think about it. How often do you step into a place and sense the change? Conversations grow lighter, confusion dissipates, and what felt chaotic moments before begins to settle. Why does this happen? It is because your very presence carries divine authority, and the darkness cannot coexist with the light you embody. Dark forces may linger where they feel unchecked, but the moment you arrive, they scatter, not because they are defeated outright, but because they are outmatched. Your energy, fortified by faith, trials, and unwavering truth, creates an atmosphere where darkness cannot thrive. This is not a psychological trick. It is a spiritual phenomenon. Have you ever walked into a gathering and watched as someone who once carried malice toward you suddenly grew quiet? Or seen hidden agendas and false smiles falter, exposed by the light you bring? The truth is, the shadows that hide in people's hearts cannot stay hidden when your presence illuminates them. The energy you carry acts as a purifier, forcing what's concealed to come into the light. Those who live in deceit or darkness may avoid you, not out of fear of you as a person, but because the spirit within you unsettles what they are trying to hide. Jesus himself demonstrated this. Wherever he went, people felt the shift. Demons cried out in discomfort at his presence, not because he sought them, but because his authority exposed them. Mark 1:23-27. What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? They cried. They could not remain silent. They could not remain hidden. And in the same way, your spirit, refined by your connection to God, carries that light. You don't need to say a word. Your presence alone transforms the space. Have you ever paused to wonder why certain people feel drawn to you while others feel uneasy? Those who live in truth find comfort in your presence because your light confirms and strengthens their own. But those who carry hidden darkness, jealousy, or ill intent find themselves exposed, whether they realize it or not. They may shift nervously, grow quiet, or avoid being near you altogether. Why? Because your light reveals what darkness cannot hide. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. Ephesians 5:8. This is the power of alignment with God. You no longer have to try to influence the atmosphere. You are the influence. The spaces you enter bow to the frequency you carry. Have you felt that power yet? The invisible forces that once thrived in confusion, deceit, and malice have no place to anchor themselves when you arrive. What you carry within you, truth, faith, and divine sovereignty, demands dominion. And here's the profound truth. They don't simply leave, they bow out. It's as though an invisible line has been drawn that they cannot cross. What does this tell you? It tells you that the authority you now hold isn't something dark forces can challenge. You have risen to a level where you no longer fight against them. They retreat the moment they sense your presence. It's not pride, it's power. It's the evidence of God's hand on your life. Have you ever considered the ripple effect your presence has on the people around you? How many times have friends or strangers told you they feel at peace when you're near? Have you noticed that spaces once filled with chaos and unease begin to settle as you enter? That is no accident. It is the impact of your divine alignment. Your energy does not just occupy a space, it transforms it. The enemy knows this about you, and so do the spirits of darkness. They once thought they could manipulate or break you, but now they know the truth. You are untouchable. Your spirit has become a fortress. Where you stand, there is no room for deceit, chaos, or oppression. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. Chosen ones, understand this. You're not like everyone else. What you carry is rare. Your presence is a gift to this world, a force of divine order in a realm that thrives on confusion. Dark forces don't just notice you, they respect you, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. If you've felt this shift, if you've seen it happen around you, it's time to ask yourself, what will you do with the power you now carry? Because this authority is not for show, it is for impact. Every room you enter, every space you occupy becomes a sanctuary. The question is, do you see it? Do you embrace it? This isn't the time to shrink back or doubt yourself. The shift you bring is real, and those who carry darkness know it better than anyone. When they bow out in silence, they are not leaving because of you. They are leaving because of the light within you. That's who you are, a chosen vessel, empowered and untouchable. If you are here, it's not by accident, it's because you were meant to hear this. You carry a presence that transforms the world around you, and the darkness knows it. The question is, do you? Chosen ones, have you noticed? Even your enemies acknowledge your strength. The fourth undeniable sign that you command respect from dark forces is when even those who dislike you cannot help but speak of your strength. They may not dare say it to your face, but in the shadows, in whispered conversations, their words betray a truth they cannot suppress. You are unbreakable. It isn't admiration that drives this recognition, it's the weight of having watched you rise when everything was designed to make you fall. Have you ever wondered why those who once tried to tear you down now speak of you with a strange mix of bitterness and respect? Why the very people who plotted against you find themselves acknowledging the resilience you've shown? This is not flattery, it's concession. They resent your rise, envy your power, and despise the way you walk with unwavering faith. But they cannot deny what you've become. They've seen it. The battles that should have crushed you, the betrayals that should have left you shattered, the opposition that was meant to strip you of everything you had. Yet here you are, standing tall, unbroken, thriving, stronger than ever. How could they ignore it? Your spiritual resilience has left an impression on even your greatest detractors. Though they may resent you, they see the undeniable evidence of your authority. They know you are untouchable. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54:17. Let this truth settle in your spirit. What they cannot break, they must bow to. The recognition you receive is not voluntary. It is compelled by the force of your divine alignment. Think about this. How many times have you heard through others that your enemies speak of your endurance, of the battles you've won? Even in bitterness, their words become a testament to the strength you carry. What they once mocked, they now respect. What they once sought to destroy, they now fear. Do you see how powerful this is? Their respect doesn't come from kindness or admiration. It comes from having tried and failed to bring you down. They've thrown slander at you, set traps for you, and formed alliances to undermine you. But every scheme they've devised has crumbled. Every plan has been overturned. Why? Because you are anchored in something they cannot touch. Your foundation is built on divine truth, and no earthly or spiritual force can shake it. Do you ever stop to wonder why the opposition didn't succeed? Why the betrayal didn't break you? Why the storm didn't drown you? It's because your strength comes not from yourself, but from the one who sustains you. Like Job, who endured unimaginable suffering yet emerged with double what he lost. Your journey has been marked by endurance and restoration. Job 42:10. And those who doubted you, those who criticized and plotted against you, now see the truth. They may not like it, but they can't deny it. Even their bitterness serves a purpose. Every word they speak, every acknowledgement they make, becomes fuel to confirm your strength. They've seen how situations bend in your favor, how obstacles crumble before your persistence, and how attempts to derail you fail time and again. This is not coincidence, it's divine orchestration. Your alignment with God has made you a force they cannot overcome. If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. Chosen ones, understand this. You command respect, not because you sought it, but because your energy demands it. Your spirit burns like a flame that cannot be extinguished. Dark forces see it. Your enemies feel it. Even those who despise you acknowledge it, reluctantly, yes, but undeniably. This is how the spiritual mechanics of divine law work. You're not here by accident. You have been refined by trials, strengthened by battles, and lifted by a power greater than yourself. Ask yourself, why do they still talk about you? Why do those who dislike you obsess over your journey? It's because they are witnessing a power they cannot comprehend. They see you endure, rise, and thrive against odds that would have broken anyone else. It frustrates them, it humbles them, and ultimately, it forces them to respect you. Your authority is not of this world. It comes from the divine, and it cannot be shaken. The battles you've faced, the betrayals you've survived, and the opposition you've overcome have all served to prove this one immutable truth. You are untouchable. Those who doubted you must now bow to the reality of who you've become. Even their criticisms are silenced by your victories. So I ask you, do you see what they see? Do you understand the power you carry? Because the truth is this, you do not need their approval. You have already earned their respect, whether they want to give it or not. Your resilience speaks louder than their words, and your rise silences their slander. Chosen ones, your very existence is a testimony to God's unshakable power in your life. What was meant to break you has only made you stronger. The light you carry cannot be dimmed, and the authority you walk in cannot be ignored. Even dark forces now concede. You are unbreakable, and they cannot touch you. Chosen ones, do you realize the realms you command now? You are no longer just navigating life. You are commanding realms. This is not metaphor, it is spiritual reality. Your alignment with divine purpose has elevated you to a level where darkness cannot function in your presence. The law of dominion ensures that beings who walk in alignment with God's will override darkness, not through force or effort, but by their very existence. Have you felt it? The spaces you enter shift. The shadows that once lingered now flee without confrontation. Chaos that once thrived in corners of your life begins to unravel in the face of your presence. Your energy is no longer subtle. It is radiant, relentless, and impossible to ignore. For the lower realms, your very existence is a warning. Stay back or be consumed. What changed? Your trials, your struggles, your unwavering faith. These have forged you into something untouchable, something that cannot be manipulated or broken. Your purpose has been purified through fire, honed through betrayals, loneliness, and relentless spiritual battles. Do you understand the power you now carry? Where, once, you might have fought to overcome darkness, now you stand and it yields. There's no need to declare your authority. It's embedded in every step you take, every decision you make, and every breath you draw. Darkness sees you and knows it cannot win. It may circle, it may observe, but it dares not come closer. Even the forces that once tested you now tread carefully, for they feel the weight of your spiritual sovereignty. This is not about ego or superiority. It is about divine alignment. Have you noticed how betrayal and hardship have transformed you? How the very people and forces that tried to harm you became tools of your growth? Like Joseph, whose brothers betrayed him, selling him into slavery. Yet God used their evil for good, raising Joseph to a position of dominion. Genesis 50:20. Your trials didn't just test you, they purified you. Every betrayal carved a deeper well of wisdom in your soul. Every disappointment taught you to see through deception, to discern the intentions of hearts beyond words or appearances. Think about it. How many battles have you faced that were meant to destroy you? How many seasons of loneliness or rejection have you endured? Yet here you are, not just surviving but thriving. The fire that was supposed to consume you burned away the impurities instead, leaving you stronger, brighter, and untouchable. Like gold refined in the heat of a furnace. 1 Peter 1:7. Your struggles revealed the unshakable core of who you truly are. This is why darkness yields. It no longer sees weakness, it sees immovable strength. It no longer finds confusion, it finds clarity. Where you once felt devastation, you now see divine purpose. Have you begun to notice the peace that follows you? The order that emerges where once there was chaos? These are not coincidences. They are the direct result of your elevation. Let me ask you this. Do you recognize how far you've come? Do you see the shift in your life and energy? Even those forces that used to challenge you now step aside because they see the divine protection surrounding you. The spiritual realm recognizes hierarchy, and you have ascended, not by chasing power, but by surrendering to the process God set before you. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7. This truth cannot be ignored. Light is inherently greater than darkness. The law of dominion works because light disrupts darkness effortlessly. You no longer need to shout, prove yourself, or engage in battles meant to drain you. Your very presence, your essence, now dismantles anything not rooted in truth. Chosen ones, understand this. The respect you command is not freely given. It has been earned. Your resilience, your faith, and your refusal to yield to the trials that sought to destroy you have elevated you. What others see as a quiet, unstoppable force is simply the reflection of your divine purpose shining through. Do you feel it? The clarity, the unwavering strength, the absence of fear. This is the result of the fires you've endured. Darkness no longer challenges you because it knows it cannot win. What once opposed you now bows to the immovable authority you carry. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every moment of loneliness was not meant to harm you. It was meant to refine you. Look at yourself now. You have become untouchable, a sovereign soul that walks with divine power. Where shadows once dared to linger, they now flee, for they know who you are. Chosen ones, your trials were not the end. They were the beginning. You have emerged stronger, purer, and brighter than ever before. Darkness does not challenge you anymore, it yields. And that is your proof. You are not merely surviving life, you are commanding realms. Your very existence is a force that transforms the world around you. The question now is this: do you see yourself the way heaven sees you? Do you recognize the power that your journey has unlocked? Because when you do, you'll understand. Darkness has no choice but to step aside. Chosen ones, do you see the purpose in your loneliness and battles? Loneliness, though suffocating, became the crucible where your faith was forged to perfection. It was there, in the silence of isolation, where no one stood beside you, that you learned to trust in divine purpose alone. The nights that stretched endlessly, filled with questions and tears, were not wasted. They were preparation. Every unseen war you fought in silence, every battle that no one witnessed, was a test that proved your resilience and strengthened the authority you now carry. You endured, not just to survive, but to emerge victorious. What you went through wasn't by chance. The pain, the isolation, and the betrayals were the very fires that purified you. Do you realize this? What was meant for your destruction became the foundation of your unshakable strength. Like gold tested in fire, 1 Peter 1:7, your trials burned away doubt, fear, and weakness, revealing the brilliance of a spirit aligned with divine will. Your scars are not shameful. They are proof of your victories. They tell the story of a faith so strong, so immovable, that even darkness now fears your light. Think about it. How many times did you wonder if you'd survive? How many nights did you feel forgotten? Yet, here you are. The very forces that sought to destroy you now retreat at your presence, because they see what you have become. Untouchable, radiant, and unstoppable. Your story mirrors those of the chosen ones who walked before you. Consider David, a shepherd boy anointed by God to face Goliath. David's victory wasn't rooted in size or skill, but in divine authority. He stepped onto the battlefield knowing that the power within him was greater than the giant before him. "The battle is the Lord's," David declared, 1 Samuel 17:47, and that truth secured his victory. Do you see the same truth in your life? You didn't overcome your battles by accident. You carried the weight of a divine promise. Like David, you were given tools not to avoid the fight, but to win it. "No weapon formed against you shall prosper," proclaims Isaiah 54:17. This isn't just a hopeful statement, it is spiritual law. Every betrayal, every opposition, every scheme meant to tear you down has been overturned because you walk under a divine covenant. The same forces that rose against you now bow before the authority you carry. They do not respect you out of choice, but out of necessity, because they cannot withstand the power of God working through you. Even history reflects this truth. Look at Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years of imprisonment. What should have broken him instead refined him. He emerged not with vengeance, but with forgiveness, an unshakable strength that commanded respect even from his enemies. His trials became the furnace that forged his authority. Mandela's resilience united a divided nation because his spirit carried a power rooted in something far greater than circumstances. Isn't this your story too? You've faced betrayals, injustices, and opposition designed to crush you, yet you emerged with wisdom, strength, and a light that cannot be dimmed. And what about Florence Nightingale, whose faith-driven mission brought healing to war-torn places? She didn't just change physical spaces, she transformed the very energy around her. Her calling disrupted chaos and created order because her divine alignment was unshakable. That same force now moves through you. When you walk into a room, it's not just noticed, it's felt. Darkness scatters, negativity dissolves. Those around you sense the weight of divine authority, whether they realize it or not. Have you seen it? The way people are drawn to your presence, not for comfort, but because it disrupts what is false and awakens what is real. You shine with a light that cannot be ignored, a light that transforms and renews everything it touches. This isn't by accident. This is the result of your endurance, your unwavering faith, and your alignment with God's purpose. Romans 30:37 declares, "You are more than a conqueror through him who loved you." This is your truth. This promise does not simply encourage you, it defines you. It ensures that every weapon formed against you will fail, and that every obstacle in your path will become a stepping stone. Your strength isn't yours alone. It's fueled by the divine purpose you were born to fulfill. Now, chosen ones, look back on your trials. What once felt like devastation was a process of transformation. Every tear, every moment of loneliness, and every betrayal was God's way of removing what no longer served you, leaving behind a warrior forged by fire. You didn't just endure, you rose. And now, even the forces that once opposed you have no choice but to yield. Your presence commands attention, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. You carry the unmistakable mark of someone who has been through the fire and emerged refined, radiant, and victorious. Like the legendary phoenix rising from the ashes, your energy now reshapes the world around you. You walk with authority, transforming every space you enter and every heart you touch. The shadows that once threatened you now step aside, for they know what you carry. Darkness does not challenge you anymore. It bows to the brilliance of your light. This is the reality of being chosen. Your mission was written long before you arrived, and no force in heaven or earth can undo what God has ordained for you. So ask yourself, do you see the power of your journey? Do you realize the authority you now carry? Because the truth is this, you were not just tested, you were transformed, and now you are unstoppable. Those who seek truth are drawn to you, finding strength in your presence. Yet, those with hidden intentions, the ones who thrive in shadows, find themselves exposed, stripped of pretense in the brilliance of the light you carry. Have you noticed this? It's no accident. This is the ripple effect of divine alignment, a force so undeniable that it transforms not just people, but entire spaces, forcing even unseen energies to bow in recognition of the authority that flows through you. Your power, like the phoenix rising from ashes, was born from pain, betrayal, and battles that should have broken you. Instead, those very trials refined you, fortified you, and unleashed the brilliance you now carry. Do you realize the magnitude of this? The spaces you enter feel lighter, stronger, and more alive because your presence demands transformation. The light within you doesn't just shine, it penetrates, disrupts, and dissolves what is false, leaving only truth to stand. Have you ever wondered why even your adversaries tread carefully now? Why those who once opposed you seem hesitant, unsure, and restrained? It's not because you've sought vengeance or demanded respect. It's because the authority you now carry commands it. Like Orpheus, whose divine gift moved even the gods of the underworld, you wield a transformative energy that reaches beyond boundaries. Orpheus's music inspired reverence where none was expected, moving the immovable through the purity of his gift. So it is with you. Your gift, forged through trials and purified by purpose, has become a force that no opposition can ignore. Think about it. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts. Chaos that once thrived begins to retreat. Tensions dissolve, as if an unseen hand has swept through, realigning everything to a higher order. This is not coincidence. It is spiritual elevation manifesting through you. Darkness cannot coexist with the energy you emit, and adversarial forces do not respect weakness. They respect power. You may not see this directly, but you feel it. The stares, the silences, the pauses when others speak in your presence. Why? Because they sense it. Even those who once sought to harm you now tread carefully, recognizing that the authority flowing through you is unshakable. The purity of your alignment has left no room for denial. Those who once plotted against you now hesitate because they see the futility of their efforts. Every attempt to tear you down has only elevated you higher. Every betrayal has made you sharper, and every battle has deepened your wisdom. What was once meant for harm has instead refined your purpose. They recognize this now, not out of choice, but out of necessity. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done. Genesis 50:20. Your transformative energy does more than shift atmospheres, it realigns them. In your presence, chaos loses its grip, confusion dissolves, and hidden agendas are exposed. Why is this? Because the light you carry disrupts anything that isn't rooted in truth. Even the unseen forces, those dark entities that once sought to challenge you, pause in your presence. They do not bow out of favor, they do so because they must. Let this sink in. The respect you now command didn't come cheaply. It was earned through nights spent in battle, moments of betrayal, and seasons of loneliness. You didn't simply endure, you were transformed. Like the phoenix, you emerged from the ashes brighter, stronger, and untouchable. Your resilience has become your greatest weapon, and your light is the proof of your victory. Think about Orpheus' gift, how it moved even the hardest of hearts, melting resistance and demanding acknowledgement. That's what your presence does. It doesn't force respect, it inspires it. Darkness, which once sought to extinguish you, now steps aside because it cannot withstand the power of God moving through you. Your light is not just seen, it is felt, and it leaves no room for opposition to thrive. Have you realized how unstoppable you've become? Look back at the trials you've endured, the betrayals, the rejections, the unseen wars that no one knew you were fighting. Those battles were not to destroy you. They were to reveal who you truly are, a chosen vessel of divine authority. The pain was the process, and now the light within you radiates so powerfully that even your enemies cannot deny it. You don't need to announce your authority. It's woven into your very essence. Those who once sought to harm you now speak of your strength. Those who underestimated you now revere what you've become, not out of admiration, but because they have no choice. They cannot extinguish the light they once tried to overcome, and they know it. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. Chosen ones, understand this. Your power is not just in your words or actions, it is in who you are. The battles you faced did not break you, they forged you into someone who cannot be ignored. Your purpose is undeniable, and the authority you now carry is felt in every step you take. Even unseen forces pause because they know the truth. You are victorious. So I ask you, do you see the ripple effect of your presence? Do you recognize the transformation you bring wherever you go? Because this is the truth of being chosen. You don't simply walk through life, you change it. You disrupt darkness. You realign what's broken, and you inspire those seeking light to rise alongside you. You are no longer just someone who endured. You are someone who overcame. Your light is unquenchable, and your presence is undeniable. Darkness does not challenge you anymore. It bows. Chosen ones, do you realize the power in cultivating your spiritual authority? Your spiritual authority is not a static gift. It is a living, breathing force that demands daily cultivation and unwavering focus. The authority you carry, so undeniable, so transformative, requires deliberate care to maintain its brilliance and impact. How do you do this? By grounding yourself every day through practices that anchor your elevated frequency and align you with divine truth. Prayer and meditation are not empty rituals. They are your lifeline to the divine. Through prayer, you receive the guidance, clarity, and strength to navigate a world filled with distractions and darkness. When you bow in humility, you rise in authority. Have you noticed how these moments of connection bring a peace that cannot be explained? That is not just peace, it is the fortification of your spiritual shield, a barrier that repels negativity and lower vibrations. Each prayer, each meditation strengthens the fortress around your spirit, ensuring that nothing unclean, no weapon of darkness can penetrate the light you carry. Visualize divine light enveloping you, radiant, protective, and unshakable. This is not imagination, it is spiritual reality, just as the psalmist declared, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" Psalm 27, chapter 1. So too must you walk in this truth daily. Darkness trembles at the presence of divine light, and your ability to invoke it through intentional practice makes you untouchable. Do not neglect the wisdom of sacred traditions, the blessings of the ancient sages, the chants of the Celtic druids, or the stories of protection passed through generations. These aren't just relics of history. They are living energies with the power to amplify your authority. Speak affirmations that call upon divine favor, words that align your spirit with God's promises. Use sacred symbols to seal your spaces, crosses, holy oil, or whatever resonates with your spirit, and let them be physical reminders of the authority you carry. These practices do more than protect you. They magnify your presence so powerfully that adversarial forces cannot withstand it. Do you feel the ripple effect of your cultivated energy? When your presence becomes a force of transformation, it is not by chance. It is because you've honored the sacred disciplines that align you with divine will. Remember, protection is not passive, it is intentional. And those who are chosen must walk with a level of care that reflects the power they've been entrusted with. But here is the greater truth. Your authority grows strongest when it is used in service to others. Gifts hoarded for self-gain lose their divine potency. Authority that uplifts, heals, and inspires becomes unassailable. Like the leaders who walked before you, Moses, who freed a people from bondage, or Esther, whose courage saved an entire nation, your role is to illuminate paths and break chains. Have you embraced this? When you pour your light into the lives of others, darkness has nowhere to thrive, and your authority is solidified in both the spiritual and physical realms. This is the essence of divine leadership: to serve, to heal, to transform. Every choice you make, every step you take, and every action you offer in service reinforces your position as a chosen vessel of divine power. And when you walk in purpose, when your energy aligns with the highest good, no force, seen or unseen, can stand against you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. This promise becomes your reality when you remain aligned and intentional. It doesn't mean the weapons won't form, but it guarantees they will fail. Darkness cannot diminish what God has ordained for you. Chosen ones, do you understand this? When you cultivate your spiritual authority through discipline, through prayer, through service, you become unstoppable. Your power does not diminish, it multiplies. Your light does not flicker, it burns brighter. The question is this: are you willing to honor your calling daily, to rise each morning with the intention to serve, to protect, to align yourself with divine truth? Because when you do, no darkness can touch you. Every space you enter transforms. Every soul you encounter feels the impact of your presence. You are not just walking through life, you are a beacon of divine purpose. Stand rooted, stay aligned, share your light. This is how your authority not only survives, but grows. This is how you remain untouchable, unstoppable, and undeniably chosen. So, beloved chosen ones, you are no longer just surviving. You are reigning in your divine light. The trials that tested you, the battles that wearied you, and the scars that mark you were never signs of defeat. They were the fires that refined you, shaping you into a force that cannot be ignored. Look at yourself now, stronger, wiser, and untouchable. Do you feel it? That unshakable authority, that undeniable power. It flows through you, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. Every battle was preparation, every betrayal was a lesson, and every moment of doubt was an opportunity to draw closer to the truth of who you are: chosen, anointed, unstoppable. Even the darkness that once pursued you now bows in acknowledgement of what you've become. It no longer challenges you because it knows it cannot win. Let no shadow, no voice of doubt, and no opposition dim the fire that burns within you. Your light matters. Your purpose is too important to be silenced. You were not refined to remain hidden. The world, both seen and unseen, needs what you carry. Do you feel the call to rise, to lead with courage, conviction, and unwavering faith? Step boldly into your role as a spiritual leader, because your journey is not just for you. It is a beacon for others, those still wandering in the dark, searching for the light you now bring. Speak your truth, share your victories, inspire others to rise. Let your story become proof that trials are not the end, but the beginning of transformation. This is not the time to shrink. It's the time to lead, to illuminate, and to show the world what divine alignment looks like. Your presence commands change. You are the disruption to darkness, the calm in chaos, and the light that cannot be extinguished. If this message spoke to your spirit, if you felt seen, heard, and empowered, please take a moment to like, share, and comment below. Share this with someone who needs a reminder of their strength, their light, and their purpose. Let's amplify this message so that no chosen one walks their journey feeling unseen or alone. To each of you who have journeyed to this point, thank you. Thank you for your time, your presence, and your willingness to receive this message. I don't take your support lightly. You are part of a powerful community of chosen ones rising together. Every step you take, every lesson you learn, and every moment you share adds to the collective light that we bring into this world. I see you. I honor you. I'm grateful for you. May you always remember who you are, a vessel of divine purpose, a warrior forged by fire, and a light that darkness cannot overcome. May the trials you've endured serve as a testament to your unshakable strength. And may the battles you've won remind you that you were never alone. Not then, not now, not ever. May your steps be guided by divine wisdom, your heart be filled with unshakable peace, and your path overflow with blessings beyond measure. May the light within you shine so brightly that it transforms every space you enter and uplifts every soul you encounter. You are seen, you are chosen, you are loved. Walk boldly in the confidence of who you are, knowing that no force in heaven or on earth can diminish what God has ordained for you. You are not just surviving, you are reigning, shining, and leading. May every day remind you of this truth. You are untouchable, unstoppable, and undeniably chosen. If this message blessed you, like, share, and spread the light. You never know whose heart might need this reminder today. Together, let us rise, illuminate, and transform the world, one chosen one at a time. Blessings and love to you always.